Hey everybody, how are you on this Friday afternoon? Well, let's see where to start. I want to talk about two things today. Spiritual sandpaper is what I call it, and impermanence. Spiritual sandpaper are those people, places, and things, events that we can't control, that irritate us. And it's like grating to our nerves, or our whole sensibility is just being grated upon. And that's when we're being called to move higher. And that's so hard. Because when somebody is bothering me or situations bothering me, it's so hard to be to answer the call to go higher. Here comes the cat mewing. They just have this sense. I don't know, they sleep all day, and the minute I get on here they come in and start twirling around. Anyway, we have this need to I guess not want to be suffering or discomforted or discouraged in any way, but this spiritual sandpaper. And today I was in a pretty good day till I decided to watch the weather, and that meant I watched a dab of the news, and I saw that the beaches are opening in Florida tonight, and I hope they change their mind, but anyway. And that I got news in the mail that I didn't get any of the loans or the grants that I had tried to apply for, and no unemployment. And I talked to several clients, and that they were in the same boat. And all that stuff is irritating, and it's calling us to go higher. My source is not the federal government. My source is not the state of California. My source is not really independent people. It's the God that I know of, and is a God of my understanding. Now, when I become discouraged, which I was today, I do what I tell you to do. I reached out and I talked with friends, or what I call God with skin on, and I called this one accountability partner that I have, and I said, okay, let me do what I tell people to do. I want 3 minutes, and I'm going to just feel all the feelings, and they were not positive, to the depths of my core being, and then I'll move on. So I did that, and it's important for me to acknowledge the feelings. Then I did what I tell you all to do as well. I reached out to get power. Now, how did I do that? I didn't reach out to force a fit or stomp around and bully anybody. I reached out to people that could support me, the community, the God with skin on. And then I did some reading that puts me in touch with this invisible thing that I call the God of my understanding, or the mystery, or spirit. And that brought me to reading one of my favorites. Although I'm not Buddhist, I do love this lady. I've talked about her before, Pema Chodron. And this book is The Places That Scare You. Places That Scare You. And the Buddha taught that there were 3 facts of life, and the first one was impermanence. First, we accept that what is always changing should be graspable and predictable. We expect that to be. We can't accept it, we expect that to be. We're born with this craving for resolution and security that governs our thoughts and words and actions. We are like people in the boat that is falling apart, and we're trying to hold on to the water. That's what I was doing this morning, in the boat, trying to hold on to the water. I had several friends call and tell me discouraging news. I had clients I talked to that had discouraging news, and it looks as if the boat's falling apart. People are still wandering around with no masks. without regard to whether they're carriers of this thing and could be infecting people, or whether they could get it themselves. And that brings up that whole notion of spiritual sandpaper. I just want to choke them. Now that's not very spiritual, you know, and no matter how I try. But if I deny that part of me, then I'm not being honest. I don't want to add to the harm. I don't want to add to the negativity. I don't want to add to the impermanent scare. So what I do is I go back in, feel the feelings, try to get in touch with this higher power of mine through reading, through meditation, through anything. And I reach out to the God with skin on, my friends. And I have to say, I remember to do the things that I have to do for this physical body. I remember to eat. I remember to drink more water. I remember to get rest. I remember to walk around the block. I remember to go sit in nature. I remember to go watch a tree. And the leaves on the tree are not worrying about it. They will blow whichever way nature wants them to, whichever way the universe flows. So I'm going to try to go the rest of the afternoon and evening, not trying to grasp on the water while the boat's sinking. And then I'm going to remember to laugh. Now, I was having to get some returns to Amazon today because I told you the other day I was in such a dither when I was ordering things, because I was convinced, because of the impermanence, I was convinced that I'd never be able to order from Amazon again because it would all be bought out. So I got these 2 big jugs of coconut oil, which my daughter and I are both finding to be very, very handy. It's wonderful for your skin. So I began thinking about that and laughed again. And then I had to get the the cat food that I had ordered, which was the wrong kind. But I somehow that day was in a dither and kept ordering anything. I have to laugh at myself. I have to just simply laugh at myself, because if I don't, I hide in shame and I try to be perfect and all those horrible defects of character that come out. And so I come back to the present. And I know many of you have said that these things that I'm doing really help you, but I'm the one that really gets helped, because I can't afford to sit around in self-pity. I have to come on and be vulnerable and be honest, but I can't afford to just wallow around in my insanity. So, Robert Browning wrote a line that I always love, and I was introduced to it in high school, and for some reason it just stuck. And it's, God is in its heaven, all's right with the world. And whether people wear a mask, or they go to the beaches, or they drop in to visit somebody, and without regard to whether they're carrying a virus to them, that is not my job. It's hard enough to take care of me. I can't imagine taking care of 8 million people in the United States and beyond the world. So I'm going to resign from that. And right now I'm going to take care of 2 cats that are decided they're not going to sleep the rest of the day and they'd like to play. And so that's my agenda next. I'll just do the next right thing, and I'll minimize the harm that I cause into the world. God's in its heaven. All's right with the world. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Try to do something fun. Remember to come back into the present and reach out for the goddess you know and the God with skin on. And I'll see you on Monday. Take care and have a wonderful weekend. I love you. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. See you Monday.